Hey toy fans, I'm D21Beast and welcome back to my 13 days of Halloween video review series. If you guys aren't familiar with the series I'm talking about or the contest that's related to it where you could win some pretty cool prizes, definitely check the link in the description below this video. But what we have here is a review that's, well, several weeks in the making. We are about to assemble our ultimate Green Goblin Build-A-Figure. Now, as you guys may remember, I've reviewed most of the figures that you see in front of you here. Spider-Man's the only one I don't have a video review for, but if you want to see a review of Black Cat, Electro, Boomerang, Superior Spider-Man, and Carnage, definitely check the links in the description below this video for more. But in each one of those figure reviews, we got an additional piece of Ultimate Green Goblin that we would be able to put together to create a massive figure. And well, now that I have all 6 of these figures, it's time for us to connect the torso and the arm, his other arm, both of Green Goblin's legs, and finally his head, and build that ultimate Green Goblin figure. Let's go ahead and get this figure assembled. Let's go ahead and start this assembly process by grabbing the torso here. And the first thing I want to do is grab this other arm. We're going to pull off this flame effect, and we'll get to that in accessories. But we're going to stick this peg into the socket of this shoulder joint and just kind of push it in. It clicks in actually pretty nicely. And let's go ahead and grab this leg here and just press it onto the hip joint right here. It's going to take a little bit of force to get that on. And I think we've got that successfully assembled. And we're going to go ahead and grab this other leg and stick it on the other ball joint. And these joints are sized differently, so you're not going to accidentally attach a leg to the other side or mess up in any sort of way like that. And then finally, let's go ahead and grab this goblin head and stick it right on the ball joint for the neck. And wow, this Green Goblin figure looks really incredible. This is absolutely a great piece and a really nice Build-A-Figure. We're going to go ahead and get him standed here. His joints are still a little tight, but here he is, guys. The moment we've all been waiting for, the Build-A-Figure Ultimate Green Goblin figure. Alright, toy fans, if you're not immediately familiar with the Ultimate version of Green Goblin, he originally appeared in Ultimate Spider-Man #1 as Norman Osborn, and then was mutated by the Oz Serum and appeared as Green Goblin for the first time in Ultimate Spider-Man #4. Both of those comics are actually written by Brian Michael Bendis and drawn by Mark Bagley. Now, this Green Goblin figure's got some amazing sculpt work on him. He's got a little bit of paint work, but the sculpting's really nice. As you take a look at the head sculpt here, you can see all this nice sort of, bumpy texture that's on the horns and on the forehead of the figure. The teeth are sculpted really nicely, and there's some great paint work in there. I like that the eyes are red with a bit of silver there in the center. And then he's got all these sort of jagged spikes around the chin of the figure, which is really nice. As you take a look at the ears, they're very reminiscent of the Abomination Hulk villain, or even Creature from the Black Lagoon, just some sort of aquatic creature. And as we come down the figure, he does have all these sort of scratches on his body, as if he'd been in battle. And he's got some more spikes on his shoulders and some texturing on his arms. As we come around, he does have some texturing here on the denim on his pants, which is really nice. And the jeans do a suitable job of looking ripped and battle-worn. As we come down even further, we do have these Green Goblin feet here with more of that bumpy texturing in the toes. And as we flip the figure around and come up the back here, you can see some more of that texturing on the denim jeans, some more scarring on the back of the figure, and then more texturing just going all the way back, and more of those bumps here on the back of the figure head. So a great amount of sculpting work here. Paint-wise, it's pretty flat. I mean, he's got his teeth and his horns and his spikes painted kind of this bone color, but there's no paint shading on the actual figure's torso or arms or anything. And overall, this figure, if you don't recognize it, is a reuse of the Walmart exclusive run of Avengers movie figures, the Hulk. So they basically reused the torso, the torn pants, the legs, and they just redid the feet, the arms, and the head and called it a Green Goblin figure. A nice reuse, if I must say, but it's pretty familiar too at the same time. Ultimate Green Goblin comes with the accessories that you see here. He actually has these really nice looking flame effects, and they're also sculpted pretty nicely in their own right, and they're even made out of this sort of light orange plastic that fades in or sort of is painted into this darker orange color, so it's a really nice touch there. This particular piece actually hooks onto the back of the figure pretty easily, just like that. And then we do get these sort of forearm pieces that have these rings that just snap right onto the figure's forearms. Actually, it looks like this one might go on the other side. And they kind of naturally fit to the contour of his arms. So once you get all of these on here, you actually get Ultimate Green Goblin as he looks in the midst of battle, when he's flying, or really just when he's looking intimidating. Ultimate Green Goblin actually has the ability to sort of flare up his body and light on fire. It's just sort of one of his, I guess, abilities you might call it. So it's pretty cool that we have these accessories that allow you to do the same thing with your figure. Moving on to articulation, we can see that this Green Goblin does have a head that'll rotate left and right and look up that far and down that far. It is on a ball hinge. And he rotates at the shoulder. He's got an upper arm swivel here at the bicep. He's got a double jointed elbow that collapses really nicely. He's got full rotation at the wrist, as well as a hinge that allows his hand to move up that far and down that far. He's got the same articulation on the other side. He does have a diaphragm joint that allows his body to kind of rock around. He will bend back that far and bend forward that far. There's no actual waist swivel, so you'll get your swivel out of the diaphragm joint. He's got ball jointed hips that do bend forward this far. You kind of have to twist them and then turn the leg, and the joint pops out on me from time to time. I think it's still pretty stiff, but it will bend forward that far, and then you can kind of twist and contort the leg and get it back to just past standing position. His leg will bend out from the body about that far, so that's really nice. He does have a double jointed knee that collapses in pretty far, and then he's got an ankle here that will move up that far, back that very, very far, and then it's got that Hasbro ankle pivot that we all like. So overall, a great range of motion. I wish the hips were just a little more flexible because it does get a bit difficult to stand this guy at times, but still a great range of motion overall. Height-wise, we can see that this is one of the larger Build-A-Figures that Hasbro has given us recently. He stands at just over 8 inches tall. For some size comparison, here we have Build-A-Figure Ultimate Green Goblin compared to the Build-A-Figure Terrax. Here he is compared to the largest Build-A-Figure that we got from Toy Biz, the Sentinel. Here he is compared to the Ultimate Comics Miles Morales Spider-Man, and compared to the Amazing Spider-Man 2 Spidey from this same wave. And finally, here he is compared to the 6-inch scale Marvel Legends Infinite Series Wolverine. Alright, Toy fans, well that's my review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series Spider-Man Wave Build-A-Figure Ultimate Green Goblin figure released by Hasbro in 2014. Overall, this is a really cool Build-A-Figure. He's got some great sculpting work on him. The painting's a little flat, but it's okay because there's enough texture detail on this figure, I think, to kind of offset that. I just wish this figure had better hip joints. But the snap-on flame effects are really awesome. They really remind you of the way he looks on the Ultimate Comics universe. And this figure looks really good when sized up compared to your Ultimate Comics figures that you have. So this is definitely a must-buy. Plus, most of the Spider-Man wave is pretty good anyway, so you want to get all the figures. And having this Ultimate Green Goblin figure as a bonus is, well, just that, a great bonus. Alright guys, well that's my review of the Ultimate Green Goblin figure. If you like what you saw here, please feel free to rate, share, and subscribe. Also, don't forget, I am running that contest where I'm giving away some prizes, including a Marvel Legends figure. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, definitely check the link to the vlog below this video and get involved in the contest I'm running for my 13 days of Halloween. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.